It's 6 a.m. Dubbo Uniting Church. Behind me there, it's raining again. We've had 4 months of rain. Last night was the most amazing climax to this tour. If you go way back, the play started in I wrote it and put it on and performed it in 1987 in a Manly disco. Then didn't touch it again for close to 40 years. To 2020, COVID time. By then I was doing stuff with Bill, and his church was emptied, and I said, I've got a great play to put on in your church, set in the graveyard, heaven and hell. And of course, Bill loved the idea, and we did it in November 2020. Then COVID returned with a second wave of whatever it was called, and all through that year I was planning this tour. The Bill said, let's tour Regional New South Wales. Well, I said, let's tour Regional New South Wales, and Bill, being just a great supporter and believer, said, let's go for it.
I've realised the difference in this play is that it wasn't started by a committee, it was just formed by two old blokes making a decision and having an agreement, and off it went. And
we planned and planned and planned. I set a schedule to start in January 2022 at Ashfield, return visit, and we did. It's a play set in a graveyard, heaven and hell, performed in the church.
That's good. Heaven and hell in the church. Wow.
And by that time, another COVID, we'd had bushfires, another COVID hit, and we were about to be hit with 1,000-year floods. So all the predictions in the Bible were coming true. So off we toured.
Hi, I'm Reverend Bill Cruz. My foundation is bringing a fabulous stage play to raise funds and awareness for the poor, homeless and needy. Set in a graveyard, heaven and hell, performed in churches. The Silver Tunnel is a real hoot.
A nice, wonderful journey. Some great reception, some not so great. But in the end, like touring in the old days, it's the goodwill you create, particularly for Bill and the amazing work he does for the homeless and with health services and also in children's education. So it plays him a really good idea to travel his word through the state. And 3,000 Ks later, 13 venues, including the Synod in Sydney. And here we are in Dubbo. In the far central west, about five and a half hours from Sydney. You couldn't just plan this Dubbo performance and trip by itself and achieve what we achieved last night. It had to have the 2 years of prep and rehearsal and practice and stumbling to get here, to the most wonderful, wonderful night. Everything fell into place. Billy Cruz turned up, Auntie Rhonda turned up.
And if you wanted sausages or mince, you've got to cost you $40 to go out of town to get it, or bread.
Yeah. So we.
And then when you came across with the hampers, I went, oh yeah. You don't even know what you've really done. You've sent food to all these outback communities. You're all around here. Dubbo's got about 7 lots. Wellington, Gilgandra, Ballador, everyone.
Oh, Jesus.
Everyone, right down as far as Burkenbury, Warriner, right out to Broken Hill.
Auntie Margaret to do the welcome to country. Uncle Ralphie with his young kids, the dancers. What a fantastic night it was. And a full house, as you can have in a church. Churches haven't had a full house since the Pope's funeral or something.
I'm coming for you, you bastards!
We've achieved exactly what this was all about, was to get different communities together in a church, a graveyard, a place at the graveyard, heaven and hell, performed in a church. It's a good catch line. Not because it's religious, just because it's a good idea.
Will you laugh for me, Dad? Just laugh for me. Laugh for me!
And they're great performance spaces. Very different, as we found out, but great performance spaces. But here in Dubbo, the rain has returned and we've achieved it. We've actually achieved it. The great meeting place of people, from parishioners to the odd scattered millionaire, I'm sure the grazier millionaires are in there, to some rehab guys, and to the Indigenous mob. And the best part of the lot, the Indigenous mob was sitting up the front. That was reserved for them, unlike the 1960s when they were at the back. They're just fabulous. And Billy, of course, was marvellous, and he's achieved everything he wanted to achieve for this play. And it's got to go on. It has to go on. It takes a great message of this man with a really great message that all people get, because it's about life and death in 50 minutes. That'll be good.
I want life back. That's my choice, that's my power. That's what's going to destroy you and the silver tunnel forever. I want life!
You can have all the meetings in the world, all the decisions in the world, all the finances in the world, all the barristers in the world, all the accountants in the world, all pulling their beards saying, oh, you know, oh. And we did it. We just did it.
Some people are confronted by it, but in the end, it makes them think. And that's why this tour has been so important, and that's why this tour has been such a great success for the Bill Crews Foundation and for us as creative people, as performers and directors, writers, and Justin Bianchi, the most amazing orchestrator of the lights and sound. The fabulous, fabulous, fabulous tour has ended in the most fabulous way.
What was really exciting last night was to see all these aspects come together. And it didn't come together in a meeting. You know, it didn't come together, well, let's have a meeting and do all these stuff. It came together over a play about real life, which affects everybody, whether they're a billionaire or got the bum out of their pants. It affects everybody right now as they are. It came together over that. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, I enjoyed it. It was great.
Good.
Yeah, it was really, really something I didn't think I'd ever see.
What's that?
Swearing in a church and all this, but from transition to transition.
I would really relate to that.
Yes.
And now I live a sober life, but I value my life today.
Yes,
And that's
which is what it's all about.
There was great cohesion in the room tonight. A lot of people, new people from the community coming into the church. It's full and it's brought the church to life in a different way, and it was successful. You know, the whole thing was just bloody marvellous.
So what this whole experience has been about for me is relearning that the arts and call it welfare or education really are all one. And like this has been known by the church for thousands of years.